Hi friends, Steve here in downtown Los Angeles on Temple Street near Rampart Boulevard. And as you can see, I'm here at the LAPD Metropolitan Division facility, and this used to be the police station that was used on the TV series Adam 12. It's changed quite a bit since then, but this was the location that was used, the filming location that was used on the TV show. And boy, is it bright here this morning. The sun is just coming up, and I just drove in from Palm Springs. Took a couple of hours to get here, but you know, I try to avoid the traffic by coming in early like this. And I thought you might want to see this location. And since quite a few have asked me to visit this location over the last couple of years, I decided to stop today and see what it looked like here in the year 2020. The driveway on the right-hand side of the building will probably look familiar to you. It leads to the parking lot behind the building where so many of the scenes took place. I don't remember it being gated, but back in the good old days, pretty much nothing was. Remember those days? Now it seems that everything has a gate around it. And while I'm showing you the building from across the street, I want to thank all of my subscribers who suggested over the last year or so that I do this vlog. So thank you, Gina Dyson, Carlo Hines, Philip Watson, Craig Talbot, Ozzy Medeiros, David Trison, Tim Rainier, Mr. Headbanger 366, Jeff Pierce, Laura Durling, Kevin Byers, Amanda Gillis, Ruth Ann Blank, Pat McCoy, Angela N., Beth Glazer, Caroline Small, Sean Wright, Bob Sebring, William Peterson, Greg Smith, Jack Webb 714, Joseph Ferguson, Les D., TJ Troy, Robbie Combs, Dr. Leon Roberts, Robert Carley, Norma Hurd, Ron Zuniga, Andy Taylor, and Alexander Patrick. I don't think I've ever had this many suggestions in the comments section suggesting that I do a vlog, except maybe for my emergency TV show vlog, which I did last week. As I drove here this morning, I had a real deja vu moment as I passed the famous original Tommy's Burger, where I used to eat all the time when I was in college. Adam 12 aired from 1968 to 1975, and I graduated from college in 1976. Looking back now, it's disappointing to discover that Adam 12 was being filmed right under my nose just a block away, and I didn't even know it, at least some of the exterior scenes. I would bet that many of the cast and crew also probably ate at Tommy's back in the day. It sure is a small world, isn't it? And when you do YouTube travel vlogs, it seems to get smaller and smaller every day. The next location with a connection to this show is Forest Lawn in the Hollywood Hills, which is around 10-15 minutes from here. And last week I was there to visit the gravesite of one of the cast members. And most of them don't have final resting places to visit. But I'm here today to visit the final resting place of singer and actor Gary Crosby. He was the son of Bing Crosby, and he was on the show. He wasn't really on the show the entire time. I think he was only in a little over 30 episodes, but I think some of you will still remember him from the show. Jack Webb, one of the creators of the show, he's laid to rest here just inside the front gates to the right. And I visited his gravesite in my emergency TV vlog last week, so I'll put a link to that vlog down below in the description section, in case you haven't already seen it. The co-creator of Adam 12 was Robert A. Cinader, and I also visited his memorial in my emergency vlog, so the link below will take you to both. Crosby died from cancer at age 62 in Burbank, California, which is not far from the cemetery, on August 24th, 1995. He played Officer Ed Wells on the show, and then later was also a regular on The Match Game. In addition to acting, he had a singing career, and he was also a best-selling author. Going My Own Way was his 1983 tell-all autobiography about growing up with his famous father. From his gravesite here in the Blessed Assurance section, he has a view of the landmark Brick Red Church. Right next to his gravesite is the gravesite of Bobby Boyle, and the epitaph reads, "Gifted singer and musician." So of course it made me wonder if there was some kind of connection between the two, but I wasn't really able to find much information about Bobby Boyle online. If any of you happen to know, please share with us in the comments section. Actor Martin Milner, who co-starred on the show as Officer Pete Malloy, died from heart failure at the age of 83 in Carlsbad, California on September 6, 2015. His Wikipedia page says that he was cremated here at Eternal Hills Memorial Park in Oceanside, California, and unfortunately doesn't have a final resting place to visit at this time. Actor William Boyett, who played Sergeant Mac McDonald, died from complications of pneumonia and kidney failure at the age of 77 in Mission Hills, California, on December 29, 2004. He was also cremated and has no final resting place to visit at this time. Fred, or Fritz Stromsoe Jr., played Officer Jerry Woods, and he died at the age of 64 in Los Angeles on September 30th, 1994. According to his Find a Grave memorial page, his burial location is unknown. Sharon Claridge, who played the dispatcher, is now 81 years old, and actor Kent McCord, who co-starred on the show as Officer Jim Reed, is now 77 years old. And in another one of those serendipitous moments that seem to happen a lot on this channel, while editing this video, I received a comment from subscriber Kristen Cook, who asked me if I had ever visited the gravesite of Ernesto Miranda. I did visit his gravesite a little over a year ago in Mesa, Arizona, but I never shared it. I guess I was waiting for the right time, which seems to be now. I'm guessing that most, if not all of you, have watched a TV show or a movie where a criminal has been read his or her Miranda rights. In case you didn't know, that all started with Ernesto Miranda in 1966. I met my friend and fellow YouTube vlogger Big Bill Anderson here at the City of Mesa Cemetery to visit the gravesite of country music legend Waylon Jennings. Miranda's gravesite is located nearby, so we stopped there as well. I discovered the other day that Bill has already been here. He was here, this was almost one of your first videos, right? Video I did. Your third video. Can you remember the story of how this came about? Unfortunately, the wind started blowing right into the microphone, making it impossible to hear what Bill is saying, so I'll try to briefly explain. In the landmark 1966 Supreme Court case, Miranda versus Arizona, the Supreme Court sided with Miranda, stating that his Fifth and Sixth Amendment rights against compelled self-incrimination had been violated. He apparently had not been warned before his interrogation, following his arrest, that he had the right to remain silent and not to incriminate himself. According to his Wikipedia page, Miranda led a life of crime that came to an end at the age of 34 when he was killed in a knife fight in a Phoenix bar. But in the end, if it's any consolation, some good did result out of all the bad. And this week I want to thank my latest Patreon supporter, Craig Holden. Thanks, Craig. Your extra generous contribution is very appreciated. So I'm really glad we finally got to connect after trying for a long time. So I haven't been back to Phoenix since 1972 or 73. That was the last time I was here. And I was just here for one day.
And the city's grown so much since you were here.
Yeah, I didn't recognize it at all.
Back in the 70s, it was the 35th largest city in the United States. When I was in high school in the early 70s, now it's the 5th largest in the United States.
Wow. Okay, so it's changed a little bit.
It's changed.
All right, so anyway, until next time, everybody, happy travels.